Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're gonna get right to it. First thing I wanted to show you is some updates I've made to the player lighting. So I've been playing a bit of Resident Evil Requiem, and the lighting in that game is awesome. So I've been tweaking my lighting a little bit to try to get it, I don't know, a little more interesting. So right now, this is the way I've been using my lights. So I've got my aura light here, and then I have my shield light that, when I bring it up, I get a little bit of a brighter cone in the middle there. I can start to see into the next room a little bit. Well, I wasn't super satisfied with that, so I have made some adjustments, and I'm going to re-engage those real quick so you can see the difference. Alright, so my intensity on my shield light was set to 15,000 when it's at its max brightness. And I have bumped that up to 100,000. So now when I bring out this light, I can easily see into the next room all the way to the wall over there on the other side, and a little bit into the room after that. Something else I've done is shrunk the cone just a little bit so it's a little bit narrower. I was trying to get that, if you've played Resident Evil Requiem, walking around as Grace with the flashlight, it looks really cool. I was kind of going for like a vibe sort of like that. Something else that I've changed that you may have noticed is that when I am holding up my shield, I walk slower. So wanted it to be there, in my, one of my earlier videos, I talked about the shield lighting and, trade-offs of, bringing up your shield to get a brighter light, but then maybe you lose light somewhere else, but then I kind of reverted that. So now my, downside to having your nice bright light out is you walk a little bit slower. So, I feel like this is kind of cool. You're kind of using it when you're in a dark spot and you're not really sure what's around the corner. You can light it up, take a peek. When you feel safe, you can put your shield down and go about your business. And then when you're not sure again, bust it out. I'll continue to make tweaks to this, but I thought this was pretty cool. Oh yeah. So one thing I've been messing around with is the world partition stuff. So previously, when I was trying to do the world partition, it was working, but things in the distance were, of course, not loading in, and for me, that was causing a problem because I want you to be able to see things in the distance, like these towers and points of interest. I want you to be able to see those from far away so you can say, hey, I want to go over there and see what that's about. So I have figured out a way to maintain that while still using world partitioning. If I go in here to one of these buildings, there's an option here called is spatially loaded, and so if I uncheck that, that means it won't load based on where it is spatially to me. It'll just load at the start of the level. So the kind of cool thing about that is I can make sure the buildings themselves are loading in, but none of the stuff inside, like the furniture and the lights and all that sort of stuff. So When I'm really far away, just the shell of the building will load in so you can still see it from a distance and it'll still look right. But you won't be loading in all the little tiny details of all the different meshes and things going on. So should run a bit better. So the next thing I'll show you is some work I've been doing on the castle. So I am pretty happy with what I've got started here. I think it looks a lot cooler than the last time. I'll show you some behind the scenes here in a second. But I think it looks pretty rad. So this is essentially modular pieces that came with this building set. So some of them are blueprints, like this whole big chunk here. That is a blueprint. It's where, the person who made this asset pack put all these walls and windows together and stuff, and then made a blueprint out of it. But this stuff down here at the bottom, it's literally like just the modular pieces, and you can see it's all just a facade. So I started with the stairs. Actually, I built the staircase, got that lined up with the bridge and at a good elevation, and then I built this little landing here. And then essentially I stuck this door with this little archway, and then I just started kind of building around that. So I've got these kind of curved walls here that make the doorway stand out a bit from the rest of the building. And then I have a couple more modular pieces just stacked up here, little wall right there behind. And then I've got a bigger version of this arch kind of right there in the middle. And then I've got these little guys. These are actually like the same as these. They're like little pillars for, your bridge railings or what have you. I just made them super big and stuck them up there because I thought they looked cool. And then basically I took this little building, which was sort of the main part of the first version of this, and I just made it like 3 times as big. I stuck this dome on the top, and then I put another version of it on the back so it looks nice and thick when you're walking up. And then this is another blueprint. I just kind of wanted to have, originally I didn't have this little tower here or this over here. It was just this main building in the middle. I just wanted to extend it out so that I could do something like make this little tower to try to get that cool looking silhouette. This is another blueprint. I just made it like, again, like, I don't know, 5 times as tall as it's actually supposed to be. So the textures are actually like a little bit stretched out, but in the low light, you don't really notice it. And then I stuck on top of this another little blueprint of arches, and then like one of these little steeple things on top. And then to make this little bridge that connects them, I just stuck another little arch between them, made it extra big so you could connect the two, and then hide the vertical parts of the arch within the meshes of the other things. So it is just a hodgepodge of things, but I think, once you're in the game, and you can't see that some of the textures are stretched out or whatever. Looks pretty good. I'll definitely keep tweaking this a little bit, especially the lighting and stuff like that. But I'm pretty happy with it right now. So the idea here is that once you get here, you'll run up to the door, and there will just be click on this door, and then we'll teleport you into the actual interior, which will be a whole separate level, so that I don't have to try to build that within this whole open world. Again, thanks for watching. Appreciate your encouragement, and we'll see you in the next one.